I mean, we have this debate between the physicians on Prakruti, Vikruti, and what you're saying as homeostasis. Now, what Dr. Ravishankar was expressing is at the cellular level or at the genetic level, which there is a balance of the samadosha. But when it comes to the composite level, when you look at the whole person, that's what we look at as Prakruti. The sum total of the parts is not the same as the whole. Right. So the parts may be at the balance level. The cellular level need to have that balance of VPK. But when different cells are form part of the whole body, for the whole of composite, that creates a different scenario, which gives you our Prakruti, which may have a different Vata Pitta balance in that one when you're looking at a whole. So that is the sort of confusion or the debate we have among practitioners, because we look at the whole thing, right, rather than going down to the molecular level, to the genetic, to the nano level. So he is talking about energies at the level of the genes. So that's just, I just wanted to mention that.
Oh, thank you very much. So I will again add a few more lines. Thank you very much for this support. So what I would definitely add is, see, when did a dosha become a dosha? And what is a dosha? You know, scientific, I mean, scripturally, what is a dosha? See, if the Pancha Mahabhutas, the Prithivi, Apaha, Tejo, Vaira, Akashats are divine, you know, they're said to be, you know, indivisible from God. Why are doshas called as doshas? They're not called as divine, unfortunately. I mean, not fortunately, unfortunately. Because, why? Because Kapilacharya clearly mentions in the Sankhya aphorisms that a dosha is the one that has a karya karana prakriya. What it means is it has got a cause and effect. The moment there is a cause and an effect, so when you enter into a cause and an effect kind of a relation, you are actually entering into a dosha. So dosha is a dosha in the true term as well, because you're creating a cause and then there's an effect. So the doshas are combinations of, okay, Maharshi, again, we have to go back to the Viveka Chudamani, where Jagadguru Adi Shankaracharya clearly explains of how these doshas are formed, and what he mentions, I suppose, in the shloka 183 of the Viveka Chudamani. I have to just refer, but I can get that citation again. But what he mentions is that when, see, okay, how is the fetus getting its, how is the fetus developing? You know, the 9 months of the prasuti or the pregnancy period are very important, because their individual organs are being formed. The individual organs are being formed under the influence of the jivatma, of the influence of the soul, isn't it? Because the soul chooses its, it picks up food from the mother's womb, and then grows. So the jivi, I mean, the physical body that is being produced there is under the influence of the jivatma, and the jivi is a jivi because he has the chittavrittis. The chittavrittis are actually causing the dosha. So that is where Jagadguru Adi Shankaracharya mentions chittavrityat sparshetu panchabhutena vispotam bhavati, is what he says. So what happens is, everything that we have around has the pancha mahabhutas, the prithvi, the 5 elements are, okay, usually, you know, the panchabhutas and the panchabhuta tattvas are interchangeably used. I would not want to, I would want to dissociate from that. It is not right. The bhutattva is not equal to bhumi. Bhutattva is bhutattva, and bhumi is the earth. Earth is not equivalent to the earth element, just like solid is not equivalent to the solid state. The solid state confirms a solid state to a solid. So a solid is in a solid state because of a solid state. So this is the difference here. There's definitely very, very important. And what Maharshi Jagadguru Adi Shankara mentions is that actually the food has annam brahma, right? The food has all the 5 mahabhutas, but under the jivi who uses the food, the jivi's chitta vritti, the subconscious mind, whose subconscious mind is contaminated by vrittis, the jivi, whose chitta vrittis, whose chittam or the subconscious mind is contaminated by the chitta, by the vrittis, when it touches the Pancha Mahabhutas, a vispotam happens in which otherwise the Pancha Mahabhutas are actually, they work in toto. They're inseparable. They're all, everything has all the 5 Pancha Bhutas. But when the jivi with the chitta vrittis touches these Panchabhutas, the Panchabhutas, the Prithvi Apaha, the earth element and the water element break down to form the kapha. The pitta is formed of, we all know, the water element, the jala tattva, tejo tattva and the vayu tattva, and the vata is formed from the vayu tattva and the akasha tattva. So there's a vispotam, and hence he refers to this as dosha. Why? Because it is impurity, something like an impurity. So the only thing that the jivi can do at that state is use those 3 doshas to make his body, and hence the jivi at the time of birth would have a certain fingerprint of vata pitta kapha, but this fingerprint is a translation of his own chittavrittis and not the original substance. His target is to reach the swasthanam from his state of chittavrittis, and that is the way, that is why the balancing of vata pitta kaphas in each individual organs, if possible at the nano level, is very, very important to help the jivi to attain the swasthanam, is what I would actually add. Thank you very much for provoking me to reveal, share this.